Hey everybody, this is Dustin, your RV specialist. So today I'm looking at a Jayco Eagle, and I'm gonna go up here and see what's going on with it. Basically, I was just talking with the tech and he says, hey, it's in here for some wheel bearing maintenance. He was telling me that the springs are looking kind of flat and worn when they're under load, that the bushings are all shot, and the actual leaf springs. Of course, this one has the thin shackle links. So if you have the thin shackle links, something that you might want to consider upgrading to. This does have the wet bolt kit, but you can tell that it, especially down here, you can see the movement where that's at. You can tell that the bushings are gone on it. It's either just been, used, or maybe it just didn't get lubed enough. We're always talking about, the CRE 3000s. Keep an eye on those. We keep seeing that the casting on the back here cracks. Basically it can only pivot so much, and some of our roads out here are pretty rough, so any big heavy impacts or potholes or going off curbs, if this thing limits itself this way, it typically will crack the sides of the welds on those, and then it causes it to spread open, and then it'll also damage the up and down bushing and the Teflon pieces that's inside in between that allows it for the vertical. The other thing too is there's on their information, these are recommended to be replaced every 5 years just because of the stuff that gets worn out internally in them. So I'm gonna quit yakking about this one. I know that the grease seals failed on the rear axle. He said that it saturated the brake shoes on the backs on the far side and on the other one, and then you can see the grease built up on the magnet down here. It's all dry looking, but it actually did leak out and saturate into it, but it's just been used past the point where it wasn't looking fresh. So he's recommending to replace, the brake backing plates. He said that the drums had some scarring on them as well, pitting and whatnot. And then of course, the suspension and the spring. So looking to basically, replace all this fun stuff and get him back in good shape to be towed. I'm gonna go catch the year of this guy. Overall, it's a really good looking unit. I see that it doesn't have the actual backup cameras on here. It's got the fake ones. So, something this long, I would recommend that you at some point add the side cameras. Looks like, I don't know if that's just a mark indicator or if you hit something there. This guy is a 7 of 2022. So, good call on the bug screens. I would upgrade to a metal latch though. When I was over here earlier looking at the brakes with Gino, noticed that the fender skirts are cracking quite a bit. Right? And so what that tells you right out of the gate is that, that the mounts aren't secure enough, which is causing the J metal. Yeah, look at all that play in that, causing the J metal. So I'm just tapping it lightly, So imagine in high wind, again, I'm just barely tapping it. So in high wind and travel, this thing's doing that, which is actually what's causing all of your cracking from that excess vibration. So I would think about resecuring that at some point, putting on new fender skirts. If that fender skirt were to blow off in transit, hit somebody behind you, cause damage to their vehicle, cause them to get in a wreck, it becomes a safety concern. So, just something to think about. Also, looks like the plates, the cover plates for the slide out topper. So this unit came pre-set up for Solera slide out toppers. And you see how that plate's up there, and they're both missing down here on this end. That's something else you might want to think about doing if you're the owner and you're seeing this, is adding the slide out toppers. It's all pre-set up. The brackets are already there. The rail is already there, basically just slipping it on and screwing it in place. That having those slide out toppers, if you've watched our other videos, that's going to go ahead and reduce the interior temperature of the room. It's going to protect the roof surface. It's going to protect the 4 seams that's on that roof. So preventing water from coming in the flanges, preventing it from going down the walls or the backside. It's going to also protect the top side of it from the bulb sill and the wiper sill to protect it from the sun. And then of course keep anything that's falling on the roof so you're not having to go up there and sweep it off. Another thing that I noticed is that some of the body sealants are starting to crack and separate. So here's the original manufacturer sealant, and you see how that gap is. So that separation is no bueno, right? See how that all is? So that what that tells us is a few things, right? So again, if you're seeing this and you're a Jayco owner, or any brand you know. So I mean, typically all the coaches are fairly similar. So as that's separated and this room goes in and out and it just flexes and vibrates in travel, these flanges are a T behind them and they're screwed up. And this is now walking. Well, now this is open, exposed to the weather. So as you're washing it, raining, pressure wash, water hose, whatever, water's gonna get back in here, damage the wall, the floor, and the screws that hold this plate in place, and then cause it to get more cattywampusy. So next time this slide out room is out, you know, go underneath and look at the screws, see if there's any signs of rust or damage underneath that. But that definitely needs to get sealed back up. You know, again, I'm just doing a quick video for our Jayco group. You can see where somebody's already been sealing this up and, you know, applying sealant to it. I would assume that was probably the owners. You know, you could also tape it or knock it down. This was the actual harder sealant. It's more like a sealant adhesive, which is kind of a bugger to get off. Same thing here. So it's probably like the older GeoCell, the actual adhesive sealant. I typically don't use that. I mean, we do on certain things, but same thing here. You can see the shadow of the line where it's separated. So that is going to allow water to get back past those. We like to use the actual flexible sealant, right? So GeoCell makes a flexible sealant, so does Boss, so does Nova, so does, I mean, there's Lex, there's a bunch of different versions. It all depends on what state you live in and what you can get. But that sealant's a lot easier to maintain. It's a lot easier to remove and reinstall. And so I want you to think of that sealant is just like having to trim a tree or a hedge. Every so often it needs to get removed and replaced. Stuff needs to get taken apart and redone. And, you know, it's just something you want to do. Same thing with this molding back here. There's no sealant, topical sealant on the top of here. You can see the water where it's sitting. This molding, as it becomes loose and creates that dark black area, it's going to let water get back in there and cause unseen damage. So anyways, overall, good looking coach. Make sure you're putting your 303 UV treatment on the seals. They're starting to shrink up. So you might want to pull them down, stretch them out a little bit, put them back up in place, tack them up with some glue. This cover's starting to slip out as well, as you can see. So that's probably how he lost the other ones. Those are just a shim that goes in temporarily in case you do put out toppers. Good move on putting in the bug screens. I'm not sure if we did that for you or if you did that, but that's a good move. Same thing with this fender skirt. Obviously it's cracking. And we got something going on in front of our street out here. Let's see who's trying by. Oh, ambulance. So this used to be the old Highway 99 back in the day. So we still get a bunch of traffic on it, but the highway is actually on that side of our overpass over there. But, you know, so we do get a lot of noise in the background. Try to, you know, I'm out here catching it. Well, it's kind of early, so the guys aren't all out here working yet. I do notice up top on your roof, you got some Eternabond up there, right, that you put down. So that could get turned into your insurance company and we can get you a new roof put on that, especially because if it's got torn by a tree branch or damage, then that'll also re-increase the value of the coach. So, you know, impact damage. So if you take this in, if you're going to try to trade it in or sell it to a private party and the membrane's been compromised, that reduces the value of the coach pretty substantially. Typically a roof nowadays can run anywhere from, say, you know, on the low for a small coach, and this is a pretty decent sized coach. I'd say for this size, probably 12 to 18 grand, sometimes more depending on what we find. Oh, there goes the fire truck. Well, anyways, I've got this video going pretty long, and this is a 28.5 RSTS, if you wanted to know, for you Jayco fans. Again, overall, great looking unit. I like that it's all the white and black color scheme. And so I'll do some more videos on it as soon as I find out what's going on with the guys, if they're, what all suspension or brake stuff that we're going to be doing repairs on, and then go from there. I didn't hear from Gino that he said if there was any frame issues or not. So when we're doing the suspension stuff, we're looking for frame issues in those areas as well. And it's not just, you know, whether it be a Lippert frame or not. I mean, obviously this is one. It's got the Kurt turn point on there. But we're checking for, you know, any signs of hangers that are pulling loose, whether they have V-braces. And come back over here real quick. You can see, again, this is a 2022, completely different manufacturer. And they've added the V-braces on all the leaf spring hangers. And this again is only a 28 footer. So, but all right, you guys have a good one. We will talk to you soon. Dustin, your RV specialist.